What if I told you that even now you're still the lead role in someone else's private thoughts? She hasn't called, she hasn't texted, but that doesn't mean she's forgotten. In fact, she still thinks of you daily, even though her name will never light up your screen again. She watches quietly. She checks your updates, scrolls through old pictures, rereads past texts. She relives the moments you once made her feel alive. But she says nothing. She stays hidden, invisible. And if you don't understand why, you'll stay trapped, lost, in confusion, hurting, waiting for something that may never come. But today, I'm going to break it all down for you. Why she disappears, why she still watches, and how you can flip the script without saying a single word. If you stay with me, you'll see her and yourself differently. You deserve the truth. You deserve clarity. You deserve to reclaim your power and end this silent suffering. This channel exists for men who are tired of chasing, tired of doubting, tired of the emotional fog. If you believe knowledge can change lives, if you want to pass on that strength to others, like, subscribe and comment below. Let's spread this message far and wide. We're here to build a new generation of men, not men who follow, but men who lead. Let's begin. The silent war she never shows. When she's alone, her mind becomes a battlefield. You might think she's moved on. You might believe you don't even cross her mind anymore. But behind the curated smiles and casual stories, there's a storm you'll never see. Part of her is still attached to you, bound by memories she can't erase. She remembers how effortlessly you made her laugh, the deep conversations where she felt truly understood, a rarity among men. She longs for the security you brought, the excitement of seeing your name on her phone, the way her world felt more stable when you were in it. That ache doesn't vanish. It lingers, stubborn and quiet like glowing embers, daily, even for a moment. You surface in her thoughts. She scrolls through old photos. She rereads your old messages. She wonders where you are, who you're with, if you ever think about her the way she thinks about you. But towering over all these thoughts is a silent dread. Fear that if she reaches out, your response won't match her hope. Fear that even a whisper of vulnerability will cost her dignity. Fear that you've moved on, found someone better, left her in the past. That fear paralyzes her. It freezes her fingers before they can type even a single word. Every impulse dies before it can reach the surface. Her silence isn't indifference, it's armor. But fear isn't the only thing that holds her. Pride stands guard between her feelings and her actions. Pride tells her to wait. Pride whispers, whoever reaches first loses. Pride feeds her a lie. If he really cared, he'd reach out first. But what if there's more to it than just pride and fear? Though her lips stay closed, she is far from indifferent. As we've already seen, her silence is not a lack of feeling, it is armor. But behind that armor, the storm keeps raging. Pride keeps her glued to the screen, quietly hoping, begging for your name to appear. Yet she swears to herself that she will never be the first to break the silence. She won't risk being seen as needy, not again. Then, ego tightens the grip. It doesn't whisper, it commands. It hisses, you are the prize. You do not beg, you do not chase, and just like that, her logic twists. A simple message, suddenly, it becomes something shameful. Vulnerability, seen as weakness. Connection, recast as surrender. Inside her mind, there's a battle no one sees. Connection versus control, longing versus pride. And every day she stays silent is both torment and triumph. Torment, because the emptiness only amplifies what's missing. Triumph, because she hasn't broken yet. But that silent war, it's eating her alive in ways you'll likely never understand. Some nights, she cracks. She almost sends the message. Her fingers hover over the keyboard. One word, just one, and it would all be different. But in that final second, fear and pride join forces, and they strangle the moment. So once again, she locks her heart up tight and swallows the ache. And here's the hard truth, the longer you stay silent, the more the pressure shifts to her side. Because when you don't reach out, When you don't chase, you take away the comfort she quietly depends on. She expects you to break first, to cave beneath the pressure. But when you remain composed, unmoved, you shatter her entire framework. If you text first, she wins easily. Your vulnerability validates her. But when you hold your ground, calm-centered, stoic, her certainty dissolves, doubt creeps in, restlessness brews, and instead of fading, your memory becomes more vivid, more intense, more unbearable. Your silence is your greatest strength. It corners her with everything she's tried to escape. It forces her to ask, did I let go of something irreplaceable? Was leaving him the biggest mistake I made? Understand this, her silence isn't forgetfulness. It isn't closure. It's calculation, a strategy, a carefully chosen move to keep her power. The moment she thinks you still want her, the second she senses your curiosity, she regains the upper hand. And to keep that edge, she says nothing, because silence is a move. Silence creates doubt. Silence haunts the heart that still feels. She knows this, and she uses it. Because to send a message, to reach out, would mean risking her pride. It would mean she's the one who cared too much. And in her world, that is the ultimate loss. So she makes a gamble. She bets that your heart will crack before hers does. But what if you refuse to play by that script? We saw that her silence is not closure, it's calculation. But what she didn't expect is that you could match her silence just as well. She's banking on one thing, that your mind will spiral, that you'll start scrolling through your old pictures, that you'll dissect every story, every post she shares, looking, searching, hoping. She bets the silence will become so loud inside your chest that you'll finally give in, just to stop the pain. And the moment you reach out, even with something as simple as "Hey, how have you been?" you lose more than you realize. You don't just send a text, you send a silent confession that she still has a hold on you, that she's still in your thoughts, that you're still not free. And when she realizes this, everything changes. The control she feared losing snaps back into her hands. She doesn't have to respond kindly. She can ignore you. She can be cold, indifferent, dismissive. Because the power was never in the reply. It was in the proof that you broke the silence, that you cared enough to reach out first. You might tell yourself you're just being polite, that you're taking the high road. But in this unspoken war, intentions don't matter. Only actions do. And your action just exposed your vulnerability. While she remains hidden behind her shield, untouched. Her silence, it's not bravery, it's convenience. She doesn't text. She doesn't call. She doesn't explain. She simply waits. Why? Because the past has taught her that most men can't handle silence, that they'll trade their self-respect just for closure, that sooner or later they'll crack just to feel something. But hear this, her silence isn't strength, it's fear wearing pride as a mask. It's insecurity disguised as detachment, and it works because the world mistakes silence for power. In emotional warfare, the one who seems to care less controls the game, and silence is the perfect illusion, even as it empties her from the inside out. If you reach out, you give her certainty, you erase her doubts, you let her win, without her ever stepping onto the battlefield. But if you outlast her, if you stay calm, composed and unmoved, you do more than protect your pride. You dismantle her strategy. Now she has to face the void she created. Now she must sit with the consequence of walking away. And she starts to wonder, did I just ruin the best thing I had at first? She'll brush it off. He's just being stubborn. Then she'll get angry. He's playing games. But as days become weeks and weeks turn into months, pride begins to crack. And the whispers get louder. What if he's really gone? What if he truly stopped caring? What if I pushed away the only one who would never walk away? That's when her armor becomes her cage. The silence she once used as a weapon becomes the echo chamber of her regret. And you, the one she expected to chase, you're no longer a prisoner of her games. You're free. You saw that your silence can become the loudest sound in her world, the one truth she can no longer ignore. And now, you become the Ghost she can't outrun. You are the memory that lingers, the name she avoids saying. You are the illusion of moving on she tries to sell to the world and to herself. You see her smile in photos, that same smile that once made your heart race, now stabs like a blade. You scroll past pictures of her nights out, sun-drenched adventures, drinks with friends, laughing under golden light. You read her quotes, loud declarations of strength, self-love, moving forward. And yes, it stings, doesn't it? It looks like she's forgotten you, like she's thriving without you, as if what you two had was disposable. But here's what most men never understand. No one posts the truth. They post the story they want others to believe. Behind that perfect selfie, a mind stuck in the loop of what if. Behind those bold, empowering captions, nights crying into a pillow that still smells like you. Behind the curated confidence, a hollow ache she can't shake. No matter how wide she smiles, no matter how fast she moves, she's not posting because she's over it. She's posting because she's hiding. Hiding from the silence that screams in solitude. Hiding from the truth she already knows, that something irreplaceable is gone. Every post is a distraction. Every caption is a performance. Every story, a wall between the world and the storm inside her. She's not moving on. She's pretending. She's trying to convince herself, not you. She drowns your memory in noise, flirting with strangers, chasing attention, losing herself in crowds. But when the music fades, when the drinks wear off, when the room empties and it's just her and the weight of her thoughts, that's when the mask crumbles. That's when she remembers. That's when she hears your voice again in her head, sees your face, feels how it was to be known, not just wanted, to be cherished by a man who saw her soul, not just her beauty. And that ache, it cuts deeper than any breakup anthem. It drowns out every strong woman caption she posts. But if you give in, if you reach out, you become her escape. You ease a tension. You give her a temporary high. You become her validation. And you teach her something dangerous she can lose. You, without ever truly losing you. But if you don't, if you let the silence speak, if you hold your ground, if you carry yourself like a man who values his self-respect more than his desire, that's when it becomes unbearable for her. Not because you're heartless, but because she can no longer run from the truth. No distraction is strong enough. No caption is clever enough. No staged smile can cover the hole your absence left. You saw how your absence begins to echo louder than her distractions. But what truly haunts her now is the space where you used to be, a space she can't fill, no matter how hard she tries. Real regret doesn't happen in the spotlight. It grows in silence, in quiet moments, in the stillness no one sees when the world stops watching and the mask slips away. That illusion she crafted for others, for herself, begins to fall apart. First comes a flicker of doubt, then the relentless what-ifs, and finally, a crushing realization. Did I destroy the one real thing I had? Your silence is not punishment. It's a mirror forcing her to confront the truth. You don't react. You don't chase. You don't explain. You let silence speak in a way words never could, to show her the cost of losing you. That is the power of silence. Every day you resist the urge to reach out. Every time you scroll past her story without tapping. Every moment you invest in yourself, in building your own life, you grow larger in her mind. You become the one she can't replace, the one who walked away without a backward glance, the man she assumed would always be there, until he wasn't. No matter how bright her smile in the photos, no matter how bold her captions sound, no matter who's beside her now, she'll know the truth. She lost a man who had the strength to walk away, without begging, without bargaining, without breaking. And that kind of man, he's unforgettable. He leaves a scar no thrill can numb, and you become that man if you stay silent and keep moving forward. But the moment you slip, you lose. The second you send that harmless message, the instant you react to her story, hoping she notices, the moment you comment, hoping she bites, you lose. Because your actions scream one thing, she still controls your emotions. She still has space in your heart. She still has you right where she wants you, wondering, waiting, hoping, even without words. That message is clear. You still mean more to me than my own pride. And once she knows that, she won't miss you. She won't ache. She won't regret. Why would she mourn a man who's still emotionally within reach? Why long for someone still orbiting her world? The moment you break silence, you surrender all your power. You confirm that she still matters more than your dignity. You reset her indifference, giving her a clean slate to pull away again. So don't just let silence speak. Let absence do the work, and let her be the one wondering, for once, what it truly means to lose you. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. A man who can't control his emotions becomes invisible to her. We saw how even the smallest slip, one message, one reaction, can undo everything. Because the moment you show weakness, she sees it. And what does that signal? That your need for her is louder than your respect for yourself. Every text you send, every attempt to reconnect, shouts desperation, not confidence. It whispers fear. It reveals that you crumble without her attention. And the moment she senses this, she recoils instinctively. Weakness is predictable, and predictability is the graveyard of attraction. Those messages like just thinking of you or remember when, they don't reignite desire. They shrink you in her mind. They chip away at the powerful man she once admired. You go from being rare to just another guy, clinging to a past that's no longer there. Every time you try to fix things, you only confirm she made the right decision. Because strong men don't negotiate their value. They don't beg for a seat at a table they helped build. They let their absence speak louder than their presence ever could. If you want her to feel your loss, truly feel it, you must disappear. Not for a week, not as a tactic, but for good. Become a void no other man can fill. Leave behind questions that haunt her at 3 a.m. Did I lose someone irreplaceable? What if no one ever gets me like he did? Was my pride worth this silence? This isn't about manipulation. This is about unshakable self-worth, the kind that says, I don't chase what walks away. I don't convince people to see my value. I move forward, even if I leave the past behind. That's the kind of silence that doesn't just make her miss you. It makes her question everything. She won't see you as the man who begged. She'll see you as the man who chose himself, the one who could have had her, but walked away without a second glance. But here's the catch. Break that silence even once, and you erase it all. Every ounce of growth, every ounce of leverage. Gone. You're no longer the mystery. You become just another guy who couldn't hold the line. But if you stay silent, if you hold your emotions like a king holds his crown, untouchable, unmoved, uncompromising, then you become the one she couldn't keep, the man who didn't chase, the one who didn't beg, the one she remembers. In the quiet hours. Silence is your power. Discipline is your weapon. Emotional control is your victory. True strength isn't who yells the loudest or who fights the hardest. It's who can stay calm when everyone else loses control. Powerful men don't act on impulse. They don't let temporary emotion dictate permanent actions. They don't need validation from those who left, because they know their worth isn't defined by who stays or who leaves. And if someone fails to see that worth, it doesn't diminish. Emotional control isn't just a skill, it's a shield. It's the line between weak and strong, between average and exceptional, between being forgotten and being unforgettable. You understood? Emotional control isn't just strength, it's your new identity. And now, what sets you apart isn't what you say, but the power of what you choose not to say. Because only when you can sit in that silence, feel the ache of missing her, endure the storm of memories, and still not move, that's when you transform. You're no longer a memory she can manipulate. You become a mystery she can't solve. You're no longer the man waiting by the phone. You are the man out of reach, unpredictable, unbreakable, rare. And that is how a man becomes legend. Not because you chased her, but because you vanished into your own evolution, Women don't ache for men who linger in their demes, dropping half-hearted messages. They don't lose sleep over men begging for crumbs of attention. They mourn the ones who disappear into their purpose, the ones who refuse to be defined by her absence, the ones building empires, not pedestals, the ones who treat their worth as non-negotiable. Those are the men who become unforgettable. And yes, the urge will claw at you to text her, to just check in, to prove your value one last time. Stop. That moment you resist. It's not just silence, it's strategy. Every hour you stay strong, you dismantle her certainty. You fuel the questions racing through her mind. Is he happier now? Did someone else see what I took for granted? Was it never him, but me? But this isn't about a. It's about you. Every second you choose discipline over desperation, you're not just reclaiming your value, you're forging the man you'll be for the rest of your life. Because men who master their emotions, they don't just win back respect, they rewrite the rules of the game. This is your sharpening, your awakening. Every moment of restraint sharpens your mind like a blade. Every act of discipline turns your spirit into steel. You're becoming the man no woman forgets, the man no world can break. Master your emotions and you master the battlefield. Master your emotions and you master your destiny. A new reality begins with one irreversible decision. You are no longer the man who chases ghosts. No more waiting by the phone. No more begging the universe for signs. No more drowning in memories of a past that serves you no more. No more shrinking yourself to fill someone else's absence. That man is dead. You buried him. Now you rise. From this moment forward, you are the center of your own gravity. You build a life so expansive, so rooted, her absence becomes meaningless. Just a ripple on the surface of an ocean she can never sail again. Her silence is no longer rejection. It's redirection. You buried the version of you that needed her to feel whole. Now it's time to rise and build the life you were born to lead. And it begins by taking back what was always yours, your mind, your body, your mission, your empire. You're not here to beg for someone who chose to walk away. You're here to build a life so powerful, so magnetic, that they regret ever letting you go. Here's the truth. No woman completes you. No one does. You were whole before her, and now you're stronger because she's gone. Her leaving didn't break you. It shattered the illusion that you needed her to be enough. You lost nothing when she walked away. You lose everything if you abandon yourself trying to pull her back. So stand firm. Shine brighter. Outgrow the need for anyone who fails to see your worth. This is your rebirth. Claim it. Because every time you trade self-respect for scraps of attention, you surrender everything. But that version of you, the one who chased, he's gone. Now, the world is overflowing with new horizons, better women, greater victories, deeper connections that don't require you to shrink, explain, or beg. But those blessings, they only find the men who move forward, not the ones stuck in nostalgia. Life favors the relentless. History remembers those who choose growth over grief. From today on, you stop haunting your own past. No more wasting energy on what-ifs. No more waiting for her epiphany. You've had yours. You'll become her regret, not with speeches, not with late-night texts, but by building a life so full of power. She barely recognizes the man she once knew. Your absence will become her obsession. Every post she secretly stalks, every glimpse into your new life will scream, "I lost something extraordinary." You don't chase, you don't bargain, you outgrow. And when she remembers you, and trust me, she will, it won't be with pity. It won't be with satisfaction. It will taste like loss, a dull, relentless ache that doesn't go away. The realization she didn't lose a man who crumbled. She lost a man who became unstoppable. Because this was never about her. This was about taking back what always belonged to you, your power, your pride, your peace. Every time you resist the urge to reach out, you strengthen your armor. Every moment you stay silent, you ascend. Every step forward, without glancing back, you reclaim your life. She had her chance. Now you build, not for her, but for the man you were always meant to be. If this message spoke to you, if you believe every man deserves to hear this truth, join us. Subscribe, like, comment below, because your voice helps us reach thousands of men suffering in silence, men who need this fire, this strength, this unbreakable mindset. Together, we're forging a generation of unstoppable men, men who lead, men who build, men who refuse to settle for less than they deserve. And now I ask you this, will you rise and answer the call?